Here we are. Hip hop grew up once again. Want to bring y'all in. As you noticed, my logo is a little bit different. Got the black Pumas on, representing my brothers.
Different.
Eric and Adrian, man. We got world-class musician, Austin legend, and brother of mine, brother of Vu's, Adrian Quesada, on the line today for this chat. How you doing, AQ?
What's up, y'all? Thanks for having me part of this, man. I've been geeking out on y'all's discourse on Facebook. I watched one. I got texted y'all about that Black Thought video and was like, man, I've been geeking out on this, so honored to be here, man.
Yes. Let's roll that intro back a little bit. RZA fanatic. 20-year hip-hop producer. Underground and gritty as it gets back in the beat tape era.
Yeah.
Before you get known for all the other things you do in the studio, I just wanted to point that out. This dude is very much a hip hop head. Don't let those Don't let those guitars fool you.
yeah. I was about to say, I had an MPC fork in the road, just took me the other way, but I'm always like, that road's always right there.
Yo, and anybody who knows the chamber I've been in for the last few years with Third Root, this brother's the architect of our breakthrough LP, Libertad. That room that he's sitting in right there, man, all the sessions went down right there. He refused to send tracks back and forth. He said, you got to get here to record. You're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a pleasure. Congratulations on the Grammy nomination this past year, my brother. All of the touring and just the well-deserved accolades that have gone into Black Puma's debut project.
Thanks, bro. It's been crazy, man.
Yeah. We'll make sure we put a link to the merch, too, in the in the little YouTube thing that we do. But yeah, y'all get some Black Pumas merch. Look, I just wanted to get right on the line because we just watched RZA and DJ Premier battle it out on IG Live. Props to Verzuz, Timbaland, Swiss, y'all are geniuses for that. And hip hop as a culture is feeding the people right now, unlike any other genre of music or any corporation right now. I just feel like we're keeping the people's mentals moving right now, man, in a special way, in a way that only hip hop culture can. You mentioned RZA fanatic, but I was the only one out of the three of us that said RZA was gonna hang tonight.
That's for sure.
You did. I thought Primo was gonna just snap his neck, and there's a few reasons that he, I could say he didn't. To me, it came out a straight draw in the best way possible. But no, I thought Premier was just so locked and loaded, and that RZA would, maybe come off a little more limited. But I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I was just playing favorites like you do. When there's two folks going head to head, you pick a side.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm gonna go like even just deep on like we've been texting all day like it was a fight, with our like who had the techniques and everything. And if in that like from that aspect, I'm gonna have to say that like I don't know if y'all remember the Rocky reboot with Michael Jordan, but when Rocky's like when he has that first fight and he tells him like, man, this fight starts when this guy walks in the room. I feel like RZA like showing up late, sound being crazy, like with a mic, fucking sleeves off, like he just you know what I mean, like he wanted to like walk that in and mentally like I feel like he knew what he was doing with that, and it just like Premier came off like a super nice guy, and RZA just came off like he wasn't reading the comments, he didn't care who was on there. And I feel like that was a if we're discussing this like some sort of fight.
Yeah.
That's it, man. Go ahead.
He bonged him.
Yeah.
Yo, he came in with the Afro Samurai shit in the back. Brother had the, excuse my language, I know we on the hip hop grew up, but I'm excited right now. But look,
all right,
he had the gloves. Man, look, I really believe that he intentionally had the sound messed up. I swear, man.
I do too.
He was rocking Premier with no sound. He knew that was a way to get all those heads to like get on his side. Like, man, he's over there just struggling, still playing hits.
Yeah, I think so.
It's true to the brand that he's always been. It's just like grimy. Who cares of the mic? Just plug the mic into the phone, whatever. Who cares? Yeah, man, it was fun, man. That was fun as hell.
Talking about, can you hear me? RZA,
yeah. By the time it got into teens, not only had I moved a queen size mattress into my son's new bed,
right,
while listening, but just really kind of lost track of the notes and almost the score, but it was just so close, man, the whole way through. And I don't know, were there any particular exchanges that really grabbed y'all, or any particular aspects of this thing?
If you don't mind me, I kept track of what they were playing to the best of my ability.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all want to talk round by round real quick like that?
20 times?
I lost track. I just started getting into it, man. I had notes for like 5 minutes, and then
yeah. We can talk moments. We can talk moments. Let me get my notes.
Yeah, I mean, it started off with RZA having the bad sound, and almost every single round feeling like a draw to me. You know, he started off with the RZA joint.
Why do you think he started off with the RZA joint? Let's start there.
'Cause it's nice.
I mean, nice. A lot of his stuff is nice, but why? Do you think the Rhapsody sample, speaking of rap,
yeah,
do you think the Rhapsody sample played into him saying, you know what, let me give him something that's been in their ears recently?
Yeah, or maybe he was just thinking about, you know, the time he went and saw Brownout playing for RZA, and maybe the song just sounded so good to him.
I like that.
Nah, I have no idea, honestly. What you think, Hugh?
I feel like, again, man, I just think like RZA's so like such a killer like that he just had to control it, like, because you didn't know who was going to even start. It was kind of unclear what was going on, and RZA just like took control. I feel like he just had to control it from, like, you know, from the get-go. And that song is just such a classic. I think that was one of the things I underestimated, was like, or I hadn't really thought about when thinking about this, because on paper I think Premier looks like the better, like, oh man, more history, longer career, like so many artists, but like I underestimated how effective, like, just the Wu-Tang like style, like brand of just everything is, you know what I mean? Like I kind of underestimated that, because when Premier plays, you know, not everybody might be into Mos Def, not everybody might be into MOP, you know what I mean? And I think that affected like people's reactions. Anyways, I think I forgot the question, but why did he start with RZA? Because I think him and RZA started in the first place, you know. That's how it all started.
Him and his cousin. I just finished watching American Saga, that first season on Hulu. So that was fresh on my brain. And even though I'm not the utmost RZA scholar or even the utmost Wu fan, I just have a lot of love for him. And it was just crazy to see my own prediction kind of fall flat. I thought Primo was going to mop him. He didn't mop him.
Yeah. He came out the gate with that Jay-Z. You called that earlier when we were trying to set up this whole thing and decided we were going to do it like this. But I'm not gonna lie to you. When he played that Jay first, I said, Vu might be right, man. Because when he came out like that, I said, oh, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Then he made some fatal mistakes along the way, man. Primo had some times to just chop his head off, and he just like laid back and did like I mean, rest in peace, Big L. You know what I'm saying? But in Das Effects, love them. I think maybe the Big L round he won, but the Das Effects coming off of the shame on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, well, come on, Primo. You know what I'm saying? And then the Devil's Pie is classic.
Mm-hmm.
That might have been one you play in that bonus when him and RZA started playing a little extra after the time. Remind everybody. I don't know about that one in the mix. But I don't know. They went after that. They went to the MOP. Yeah,
that was second.
Yeah, and I think Method Man.
Bring the Pain versus the MOP.
Bring the Pain. That's what it was. Bring the Pain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know too many hip hop cuts that could compete with Bring the Pain, man. It's a moment for us. I remember him rapping that song with Ed Lover and Dr. Dre.
Mm-hmm.
Performing it live on MTV. Like, some of these songs it's too much of a moment for you to even see past. Yeah. And I just felt like RZA had more of those moments when you sitting with your friends doing what y'all do with the windows rolled up, and you just never heard nothing like that before.
Right.
You know, it's just nostalgic, you know?
Yeah. I think it shows the way these guys think too. Because there's a lot of heavy hitting records that are more popular than Premier could have chose.
Yeah.
He wanted to play Big L. You know, he wanted to play the MOP record. He wanted to play KRS. He wanted to play Das Effects. He certainly didn't have to. He's thought about this. So it says a lot about his mentality and just the way he perceives things, that he would rather do what's favored to him than maybe what's favored in the mind of consumers over time. Because I'm sure he's aware of both perspectives.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Big L and MOP is kind of like his, not his Wu-Tang, but that was his, you know, not like work for hire. Somebody hired Premier to make a remix for D'Angelo, but like that was his, you know, that's his scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I want to talk about some of the rounds that I thought were the tightest. I don't know if y'all took note of anything. You were like, I don't even know what to do with this round. The first one that hit me like that was Ghostface Run versus the KRS-One joint.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, what do we do? So I ended up giving it to Run. Where did y'all go with that one?
Wow.
That was round 5, by the way.
Yeah, I had a tie and then I scratched it out and gave it to RZA.
Yeah.
Did Run go first or MC's act? I don't remember which one.
RZA was first every time.
RZA was first on Run?
Every time. Yeah.
Man, that's crazy because I really thought like earlier when we were texting songs this morning and you said MCs act like they don't know. I just thought that was just going to be a home run for whatever. But man, I forgot how hard Run is.
Yeah.
You know, as again, man, like I was just underestimated hearing it all of a sudden with crappy sound.
And they left
like, man, I forgot how hard all that was. So I went RZA with that one too. And I used to have that. I love that tape with MCs act like they don't know.
Yeah, man. That's that Fish Scale album, right? I want to say
Run. Yeah,
Pretty Tony.
Run I think was on Fish Scale. Yeah.
But and that was the first one that RZA let rock all the way into Jada's verse.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I said, okay, RZA, he got his footing. He about to get in his fields. You know what I'm saying? But which other rounds that y'all were tight for y'all?
Let me find it.
Some of them was just like, what?
Let me find it.
No, no, man. You know what? Run was Pretty Tony album.
Pretty Tony.
I couldn't remember. Yeah, it was on Pretty Tony. I just looked.
That's what it was. Yeah, Run is.
I don't have notes on the exact round. So
okay, what about Brooklyn Zoo versus Come Clean?
Brooklyn Zoo. Oh, that was round 14. See, I was taking my notes. I gave it to Come Clean because Brooklyn Zoo is not credited to RZA.
Facts.
As a production, I think he was an arranger. I think he was an executive producer. But from what I saw, True Master produced it.
Facts.
So even though, to me, Brooklyn Zoo was a better moment to me, nostalgic-wise, when I heard Brooklyn Zoo, it didn't hit me the way that the Jeru, the Damager hit me. Mm-hmm. So I was going to give it to Zoo, but when I realized that True Master did it, I said, you know what? By default, I got to get this to Preem.
Then he came back with another ODB right after it, right? Shimmy, Shimmy, yeah.
He produced.
I gave that to Come Clean, actually, to the J-Roo. But I didn't know that about that track with RZA. But yeah, I was wondering where the, like, there's probably a lot of gray area with like what True Master did, Mathematics, all those guys did a lot of that stuff. Kind of like Dr. Dre doesn't really like do all the stuff or whatever. But
right,
you know, kind of had to let that slide and take some liberties with that. But I gave it actually that one. I was more into the J-Roo track.
Yep, me too.
If you don't mind, talk to me a little bit, Adrian, about Jeru the Damager. I'm not ashamed to say that I know his music. I remember that album that rang off. You know, I'm a Southern boy, man. I'm an NO boy, transplanted to Texas. So if New York or East Coast hip hop hit me, it was just certain moments. Jeru didn't hit me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like either one of y'all, man. Talk to me about that a little bit.
That was like the era of singles, like to me, like cassette singles and like getting mixes off people and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say I'm like the biggest Jeru fan, but I always had really liked Come Clean and I liked You Playing Yourself.
Yeah.
I always had on like various, which I was wondering, he had to have done that one, right? You Playing Yourself?
Yeah, I think he did pretty much all of them.
I was kind of wondering if he was going to drop that one, but those like, I just always had those on like either a cassette single or on somebody's mix or something, you know. But I wouldn't say that like the way that people really are fanatic about a whole like Wu-Tang album that I was like really into Jeru like that heavy. But I mean, those are just tracks that were classics to me.
Yeah, J. Rule's from Brownsville, Brooklyn.
Okay.
And you know,
home of Mike Tyson and MOP and
right, and you know, Gangstar in general planted themselves in Brooklyn to where they ended up being from Brooklyn, even though they're from Boston and Prairie View.
Yeah.
And so J. Rule was somebody who everybody was feeling in kind of that, for lack of a better description, in that 8 Mile era, like the era before Puffy and the shiny suits took over, which was basically peak Premier and RZA time.
Gotcha.
So that Come Clean was at that time, you know, Smith and Wesson was from Brooklyn and Buckshot was from Brooklyn. And, you know, there's somebody that Biggie and everybody admired for the time that J. Rule was hot because he gave you permission to be, you know, all of that. You know how many songs we heard that sounded like you got on some Timberland boots?
Yeah, he was fighting that transition, man.
He was Timberland boots and their head wrap and the conscious, you know,
I remember
giving permission for a Wu-Tang to be top of the top, you know, for the 3 or 4 years that they were.
So in New York, like that's another point. Like we all Southern, if somebody wants to argue Southwest, you know, but in New York, who won Brooklyn Zoo versus Come Clean? Do you think if the heads in New York when they're listening?
I have no idea. It depends on their age, for one. I have no idea.
I wouldn't even know. That's in y'all's. That's more y'all's.
I have no idea.
Area of expertise.
But I just remember the time frame, like, you know, the same time when Grave Diggers were coming to Catfish Station and the Roots were coming to Catfish Station. You know, and I was kind of a wannabe Mike Snatcher, wannabe rapper, you know, mid-90s, 94, 95 is when that record was one of those records similar to those Duck Down records that when you heard it, it was grimy and everybody who wanted to be king of the cypher or battling or whatever, it was one of those beats where you were the toughest rapper you could possibly be as soon as you heard the very beginning of that intro. So I know that's why Premier played it. It's because that's just one of them ultimate dirty cypher beats. And they were probably at some of the scariest clubs in New York City history when that record was out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what he did that for. I mean, I think he did his whole set for the culture like that, man.
Yeah.
You know? But that round that came right after, which I have is round 15, was another one that was very tight. That was Shimmy Shimmy Ya.
Yep.
Was Kicking the Door.
Kicking the Door.
AQ, who'd you have in that one?
I mean, Shimmy Shimmy Ya is just like, I've played that one. I've played that on piano for RZA, and like, I've just seen a room react to that, man. I just, you know, I get that feeling. Like I've played dun, 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 with one finger on keyboards live with RZA. So I mean, I've just seen the way that a room reacts, and I just, to me, that one just like, I just feel that one. I don't, you know, once you start that one, there's no, you can't put anything against that one to me.
I had Kicking the Door, but you played the joint. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't. What can we say to that? You were on stage playing with Wu-Tang, Shimmy Shimmy Ya, like, let's go. But that Kicking the Door, like I said, I'm a Southern boy. When I first heard that, I said, that's tough. That's just tough. It's not. It was just tough. The lyric, and it's the lyrical prowess of B.I.G., man. Like the beat is hard, but Biggie's a bully, man. You know. So. And
speaking of Southern, that's that I Put a Spell on You. What's my boy's name that sings that song? Howlin'.
So Screaming Jay Hawkins.
Screaming Jay Hawkins.
Is that Screaming Jay Hawkins?
Yes. Like that's one of them songs about, you know, putting a root on somebody, you know, all of that. It's very Mojo-ish record.
Yeah, exactly.
So he took a real dirty, you know, Southern blues type record and then turned it into, you know, which to me it's a very primo record. But I gave it to Shimmy.
Boom, 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 boom. All right, what else we got?
Oh man, by that time I was just dizzy. I was like, why are we keeping score?
Yo, he played what I want to say RZA played an Inspector Deck song, and Preem's reply was New York State of Mind. I'm like, he could have just used that. To me, he won the round, but he could have took out one of RZA's heavier joints with that. You got to be strategic with these battles. So New York State of Mind could have knocked off maybe METHOD. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't
I
know.
thought the timing was. I got up on that Inspect the Deck song to go do something, and I came back and New York State of Mind was playing. I thought that was crazy too. It was a little odd timing.
Yeah, I don't think Premier was going for the jugular like that. And I think RZA did a great job of not showing that he was.
Yeah, exactly.
But see, there you go hedging your bet, though, man. See, you can't do that. You can't.
I wanted Premier to win.
No, you can't say Primo let RZA off the hook. You can't do that.
Okay, but he played a MOP song. What's the name of that song?
There was some songs I didn't know the name.
I remember the song. I don't even.
I'm saying,
I didn't even know he didn't do Annie Up until y'all texted me about that.
There's plenty of things he could have played. Gangstar alone. You know, I could name 5 Gangstar songs he could have played instead of 5 out of those 20 that he played.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. And RZA could have played Cream in the 20 songs instead of waiting until the overtime.
And Triumph was overtime too, wasn't it?
And Triumph was overtime, yes. So it's like, I don't know. I finished with a 10-10 score at the end of the day when I finished it. I just think in spirit and in essence, it was a tie. It was a great moment. It really wasn't it was nothing ill or disrespectful about it. I think it was much better than the Manny Fresh Scott Storch joint.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I watched it. I didn't catch it live. I watched it on YouTube because, like you, I'm going into a Manny Fresh battle. Being from New Orleans, like that's my dude. I'm a ride with him. People were telling me Scott Storch drug him, but that it was 2 different battles going on. I felt like Fresh was giving you a hip hop beat battle, and Scott Storch gave you a hit battle, and you can't compete with that. You know, like I didn't think Fresh could compete if that's what people were looking for. What other battles have there been?
I've seen none, but I'm looking forward to Babyface and Teddy Riley.
Hey, get your wine, get your girl on that one, bro.
My boy Bob.
How is the other? Is this what's the viewership of this one compared to the other ones? Like compared to that, I heard about the Scott Storch Manny Fresh one, but
well, I remember hearing that D Nice's party was amazing because there was 100,000 people on Instagram Live.
This was almost 200, right?
Right. This was like that in the first 10 minutes.
Yo, 195 when they played the first beat.
Crazy.
Yeah. But I think the Scott Storch Manny Fresh hit 200.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Scott Storch Manny Fresh hit 200. And I thought this one was gonna surpass 200, to be honest with you.
That's crazy. Maybe there was even more interest from kind of the corners of, you know, Miami and Louisiana and places like that.
Yeah.
And Scott Storch and Manny Fresh is not so New York, and people that, you know, are tapped into that mid-90s New York. But this was, I mean, as far as all of this quarantine edition of DJing and beat competitions, this was the one that finally grabbed me and had me excited in the grocery store, you know, with my mask on, you know. This one got me. I've been ignoring a lot of this stuff, but I respect how people are really stepping up to niches, and people who can't go on the road are still offering things, a lot of it for free. But this one just grabbed me, man, and I'm not disappointed.
Yeah.
I'm not disappointed.
Man, I could do this every Saturday night. I woke up and told my wife I had plans. I was like, I got plans tonight.
Yeah.
I got something to do on Saturday night.
Yo. Yeah, I told the fam, man, like, this is what I'm doing. I had even told my daughter, I'm like, look, I might need you to man another computer so we can like pull up the title streams of some of these beats while we're talking or whatever. But as the night progressed, I realized, we just need to get together and talk, you know, and then plus she got sleepy. So, but yeah, man, this was something that was worth looking forward to and having some anticipation for. This is my first one where I was like, okay, I'm going to the live. Other stuff I've seen clips of, somebody analyzes it later, YouTube. This is the one where I'm like, what time is it? Pull up DJ Premier's joint so I can see this live.
Yeah. I was excited from the time I woke up and saw that Q had texted us about the last discussion, because I was actually asleep. What was that, 12:30? I was already in bed. But to wake up and see a thread between y'all, I was like, oh, it's going down today.
yeah, man. I'm glad to be here, man. I'm glad to be part of I could contribute to this. Most of the time I'm just a spectator, like reading what y'all are writing about, and then but this one I was like, okay, yeah, I could I could hang on this one a little bit.
I knew it, man. I knew it when it was RZA. I before you even text me, I said, I wonder if Adrian is gonna tune into it. This is his mode right here, And then I roll over in the middle of the night, with a little crying little baby boy, and I'm looking at I said, I knew it. It was about Black Thought, but it was really about RZA too, though.
And did you text me like at 2:30 in the morning or something?
Yeah.
Did you wake up and text me, or was it in the morning you texted me back?
It was in the middle of the night.
I saw that this morning.
Yeah, I had a bottle or something in my hand. A bottle on the cell phone.
Let me ask a couple of questions. One for Q and one for everybody.
All right.
So for you, Q, on a scale of 1 to 5, how RZA is Black Moon Rising by the Black Pumas? How RZA is that?
It's probably inherently like from 1 to 5, like 3.5.
3.5.
It's just like I didn't even we didn't set out to do that. It's just kind of ingrained in me. That's just how I hear things. It's just how I hear things. It's not like, oh man, pull up this RZA song and let's reference that.
Nah. But
probably 3.5.
The very first track he played tonight, Black Moon Rising, always brings that to at least the back of my mind. Mm-hmm. The first time I heard it, it was like, but now when I hear it, like just in the back of my mind, I always hear just the way the guitar is sitting just a little bit. Yeah. That reminds me of that RZA song, and now the Rhapsody joint. Okay, so one more question. Unless there's more you got in mind, easy, but I want to cut to the chase a little bit and say, if you had to pick a winner tonight, who you got? If you can only say one, there's no ties. Who won tonight?
RZA.
I'm gonna have to say RZA, even though y'all knew that I didn't even think RZA had a chance in this. I just thought it was all Premier. I'm gonna have to say RZA too, man. I feel like in the overtime, Premier kind of held his own, on the overtime. RZA maybe lost focus around there, but then I just thought RZA won it.
So it doesn't even matter what I think.
What do you think?
I think that Rashad and Igor are gonna laugh at me when they get to this part of the video, because they swore from the jump that it was gonna be RZA, and I swore from the jump that it was gonna be Premier. But since I scored at a tie, if I had to pick a winner based on my expectations and what actually happened, I gotta say RZA won the battle. RZA won.
Yeah.
RZA won the battle.
Yeah, and there's going to be a contingent of people who say Primo laid back on it. You know what I'm saying? And
he did.
And the sound being messed up made Primo just lay back a little bit more. I thought they talked too much. If I could push back just a little bit, I thought it was a little bit too much talking. Let's get to some of these beats. Like it was moments, it was momentum building, and then they were just. And I love the history though. I will say this. It's a mixed feeling because I'm like, stop talking, but then what you said, which is going to be captured in the world of digital media forever, is important hip hop information and scholarship, really. You know what I'm saying? So I did appreciate it, but I think it slowed it down just a little bit.
Well, I think that's what happens when you're, 50 years old.
Yeah,
is they can't be ungrown.
Man, right.
That's where they are. RZA's not in music like that, and Premier is, on Shade 45, being that exact person we saw tonight.
Yeah.
Man, wow.
I mean, I think also you could see just the more RZA was hitting that gin or whatever he said he was drinking, started talking more and more. I was watching that. I'm like, oh man, that gin is going down, and my man's talking a lot more for sure. Where Premier's tea and plant-based diet wasn't making him, looser throughout the thing.
For sure. Well, brothers, it's been a pleasure to discuss this and to do it in such a organic way. We could have approached as many different ways, set up an agenda of what to talk about and how to come at it. I just love that we got right off the IG Live and got right on the chat. This is HHGU in real time, So I appreciate you, AQ, for making the time.
Hey, thank y'all, man. Thanks for letting me just be part of this in y'all's discourse dialogue, you know.
Salute. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Again, Black Pumas, like Bavu said, man, Black Moon Rising.
Colors.
Whole
album.
October 33rd. I love that joint too, man. Tell Eric we said what's up.
Soul Supporters.
Yeah, man. If you love hip hop, you will love the Black Pumas album. Like it's no rap on it, but it's hip hop, you know, in a very special way. So y'all check that out when you get a chance.
Thanks, bro.